You must have a morality. If there's no moral code and there's no ability to condemn, they will not heal, they will not move on, and they'll get back into another narcissistically abusive relationship, or they'll go back to their previous abuser. Generally speaking, in our culture, it's a bit of a taboo to be moralistic. We live in this horrible postmodern, it's an awful moment. The sooner we're out of it, the better. This horrible postmodern miasmic soup that is partly based in psychologization. It's based on like certain Marxist principles written by a lot of psychotherapists and psychoanalysts who, I'm not even saying they were wrong with what they wrote. In the intellectual, high level, ultra cerebral, if you understand every single point they made to lead to the final point that they make, very few of us reach that high. I do not. I get halfway with Lacan and my brain bursts. They could be right, but it's not for the rest of the world. It's not for the rest of the world. It's like non-dualism in the Vedic tradition. Non-dualism, of course, has merit. Of course, the idea we're all one, nothing is everything, everything is nothing, you are me, I am you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's for people who've been meditating for 20 years of their lives, who've been reading and studying and building the infrastructure. For you and I, it's not a useful doctrine to live your life. It's a useless, corrupting doctrine because we're not strong enough to hold that, and we don't really understand it. We like it as a vague idea, but we don't really understand it. You start with morality. Simple. You start at the base. You crawl before you can walk. Some things are good. Some things are bad. Some things I encourage. Some things I reject. When a person does certain things, that must be condemned. So not only do we live in a morally relativistic leaning culture, which is a nightmare, that's going to get worse before it gets better. We'll see how, once it's gotten really bad, then we'll wake up from this and go, oh, maybe it's a bad idea to live with this morally relativistic schlop. We'll come back to it and we'll probably swing too far the other way and it'll be a nightmare, a different nightmare. I'm super optimistic, aren't I? Then you have this culture that says you should not judge and you should not condemn. I'm sorry, but that you'll never live a life.